See if we completely whiff this water bottle. It might be that this 18-inch barreled cylinder bore choke, no removable choke, is just too big of a spread at that yardage for number 4. All right, first shot, 25 yards, water bottle, number 4, Federal. All right, it hit it. It hit it. But what did it do? How many hit it? All right, here's the water bottle. We hit it, we grazed the side there. 1, 2, 3. 3 impacts. 3 impacts. One of them did not go all the way through. It's inside of the water bottle. 2 of them went all the way through. All right, so 3 impacts, 1 stayed in the bottle at 25 yards. Okay, number 6, Super X, 3-inch at 25 yards, water bottle. All right, the number 6, Hyper Steel, 3-inch. More impacts than I can count. Can't count that high, got my shoes on. But there's 5 still in the bottle. So far more impacts. Number 6, there's more of it. There's more pellets going downrange. And that kind of showed by is shown by all of the impacts. The hit probability goes up. The whole side's blown up in there. So if the hit probability goes up, is the pellet strong enough? Does it carry enough energy to humanely end the animal's life? All right, we got one more bottle up there. We're going to do the 7.5 shot, 3-inch shell. We're just going to do the the Winchester Super X. Winchester Super X, that's what's easiest for me to find in my area. 3-inch, 7.5 shot, same distance as the others. What we want to see is hit probability, lots of impacts, and a lot of energy from those impacts. So, all right, here we go. 7.5 size, 3-inch shell, Super X, Winchester Super X. And okay, just like the other one, the number 6, this one has 7 pellets inside of it and more hits than I can count. The whole side is blown out, so this reacted a lot like the number 6 hypervelocity stuff, but it was just 7.5 7.5 3-inch that was much cheaper and easier to find. I'm liking this. This shows me that I can get way more hit probability with the 7.5, and the 7.5 did as much or close to as much damage as the 4. The 4 only had 3 hits. This has, well, at least 7 hits. So the next step will be some canned foods. Does the 7.5 contain enough energy to go through the canned food? Because if the number 4 goes through the canned food, but the 7.5 doesn't, then that shows me there's a gap in energy at the animal at that distance. Time to put some canned foods downrange and see how these two react. I'm probably going to shoot just the number 4 and the 7.5 because that's what I have the most of. And the 7.5 and the 6 were real close to each other. So we'll shoot the 4 and we'll shoot the 7.5 and we'll compare the damage. And the canned food is a lot smaller too than these. Let me go grab one and I'll show you. So comparatively, this is the size difference. So it's going to be interesting to see if the number 4 even hits it versus the 7.5. It's about the same diameter, just not as tall. So let me run these down, these 2 canned foods down there. I'll run both down. We'll shoot both one right after the other, and we'll see what the reaction is. All right, canned food's downrange. We're gonna start with a 7.5 Super X on the left side can. Just so you guys know, these guns seem to pattern a little bit high. So when I'm aiming at this distance, 25 yards, I'm basically aiming with the bead right on the 2x6 that the can is sitting on. All right, 7.5 shot, left can. All right, and here's the Federal number 4 shot on the right can. Looks like we hit it. Without getting too messy, let's bring them back and see what she looks like. So this kind of illustrates exactly what I was talking about. This is the 7.5, and there's some dents on the can. I don't know if you can see that. There's some dents on the can, but there's a couple impacts that went in. They dented the back of the can, but the 7.5 has very little damage, whereas the number 4 shot actually hit it. 1, 2, 3, hit it 4 times. The number 4 shot hit it 4 times, and much bigger damage. Very interesting result. So the number 4 obviously has more energy at that distance, but the hit probability goes down based off of the animal size. So you really got to be careful with how far away the animal is, and will the round actually do the job. We're going to try to do one further than that. See if we can do one at 35 or 40 yards with the 7.5. What I'm looking for is a distance where it just dents the water bottle or it just dents the can and doesn't have enough energy to actually puncture it. I don't think I can get 35 or 40 yards here, but we might try. All right, as you can see, we're on a different part of the range here. This is the road. This is the road into the upper camp. And I think I can get about 35 yards on this stretch. What we have is 2 Cokes with just water in them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to range find them with my Bushnell rangefinder here and see if we can get 35 yard hit. Again, we'll do the left one with 7.5 shot, the right one with number 4 shot at 35 yards, and hopefully you guys can see that, and we'll see what the result looks like. See if the 7.5 has enough penetrating power at 35 yards to puncture the Coke bottle. Same thing with the number 4. So let's step it off here. Yeah, 30 yards. All right. 30 yard shot. Doing the 7.5 first. All right, left. It's a long ways for us, 410. Okay, saw dirt kick up all around it. Now, we'll do the one on the right with the 3-inch number 4 Winchester Super X. Barely even see it. The 7.5. Hopefully you guys saw that. It's got 1 impact. Looks like it didn't go through. Or no, it's inside the bottle. So one round impacted and penetrated. The number 4, same thing. Right there on the C for Coke. But that one went through. Interesting. So they both had one round, one pellet impact. Let's go ahead and dispatch of these. All right, we're gonna do number 4. Number 4. And of course, we don't leave our garbage. This is private property, but we still don't leave our garbage. A little bit different when you're up close here. So I think the conclusion on this is the number 4 pellet is a big pellet, but there's fewer of them. The number 7.5 and number 8, there's a lot more of them, but they don't carry the energy. They're not big like the number 4. They're a lot smaller. So for me, it's just going to be a case-by-case basis. I put some number 7.5 and some number 4 in here. Plus I have some triple-up buck and one of the PDX rounds. Maybe we'll test that stuff at a later time. But basically what it comes down to is personal preference and what you're actually going after. I think being able to grab the 7.5 or the 4, depending on what I'm trying to get, will be a benefit. So having both in the buttstock here is going to be better in the long run. The gun runs flawless. It hits a little bit high for slugs, and the buckshot with the different target loads, the 4, the 6, the 8, 7.5, it hits almost dead on. Fantastic gun. I wish that it was threaded for different chokes, but it is not. I wish it was drilled and tapped for an optic. It would be really fun to put a red dot on here and make this a slug gun, but it is not. One of the things Midland talked about was the availability of different barrels. Once you have the firearm piece, they were talking about other barrels for the fore end here that could shoot like a 38 357 barrel, 9mm barrel, 45 ACP barrel, things like that. And that's what one of the reasons I bought this model, was hoping to get to that point. They do make some inserts to shoot some of those rounds, but not very many for the 410. And the ones I've seen for the 410, they're not threaded, or not threaded, they're not rifled. So if I could find a rifled insert, I might entertain that. If Midland would make the 357 38 special barrel or the 9mm, that would be just stellar. This would be just a great little combo, especially if they tapped it for like a red dot, like the reflex sight, or the one that I have on my 22 target pistol, the little Vortex. That would be a really fun combo to have. A bunch of 357 Magnums or 38 specials for the wife, and a little red dot, and just come out and plink with it. Hopefully they'll do something like that, but for now, this is a fun gun. My 12-year-old daughter, she shoots it occasionally. It's not too much kick. It's great for kids to get them, you know, above that next step above a 22. Allows them to blow up cans and see some bigger impacts, especially if they can shoot slugs out of it. But fantastic gun. Very pleased with it, and we're going to be shooting some more stuff and showing you different ammos as they come available. And yeah, it's definitely thumbs up for me, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this video, and we're going to have more coming along here soon. Have a good day. Alright, 50 grain, 223, varmint tipped. Here we go. Yeah. That's what you want for prairie dogs right there.